How are y'all?
Doing good, doing good. Well, coach us out. Where do you get this thing off after a long off season?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely to that point. I think our kids are too. We're tired of talking about it and ready to just go do it. They're excited. They've had a great 2 days of practice. I don't think we're overly anxious. I think we're just ready to go. I'm really excited to go see them. Just go put it on the grass on Saturday.
What's your ratio from excitement to nervousness heading into your first game here at ECU?
I've never been a guy that gets really nervous. These type of things you always just try and be prepared for. I'm excited more than anything. And I'm excited for these kids because, they've put in the last 8 months. They've done everything we've possibly asked them to do and then some. That's the thing. I'm just excited to watch them play because they've earned the right to go out there and play well and to put points on the board.
Jake hasn't played in a live game for a while. Do you have the same thing to him, or you just is he just a cool calm guy?
No, that's just that's why, that's part of the reason why he's the guy, is because he's just cool, calm, collected every single day. He's never too high, never too low, just even keel. And I don't expect any different on Saturday. We tried to put him in as many game-like situations, whether it be a scrimmage or a practice setting, and he responded the same way every time. And so I don't expect any different on Saturday. Is he probably going to have a few more juices flowing? Probably so. But I bet after that first clap, he'll be just fine.
With the Norfolk State, how much does it help you? At least they've got a game on film. I mean, I'm sure you watch them going into the year, but you at least kind of have an idea of what they're going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Coach has talked about. There's advantages and disadvantages to it. It's an advantage to us in the sense that we get to see, not only some scheme things, but personnel wise. They've moved some personnel around. And I think they've upgraded at a lot of spots personnel wise. I thought they flew around. Their guys play hard. They play sound. I was really impressed with them on Saturday, or this past Saturday, and just looking at them as a whole. Like, we got to go play, and this is going to be a dogfight now because they got a good squad.
For you guys, how important is it early in the game to try and stay on schedule, not have any of those like false starts or emotional penalties?
Yeah, that's huge. Not only this game, but every game. That's something we harp on a ton. Is just we can't beat ourselves. This game is hard enough to move the ball and score points. Just having the ability to stay on track, stay in front of the chains. Those type of things are huge, especially in this first game. And unfortunately, sometimes it's going to happen, and it's really how you respond to it, making sure that we don't turn one bad play into two. And that's just something that we got to coach our guys through, and they'll be good.
Calling a game, for the first time, live game, you obviously done scrimmages and things. You try to prepare for every situation, or you just, I don't know, you kind of go in there, ready for kind of doing what you've always done.
Yeah, that's the nice thing, is just the rooms that I've sat in, being able to, really my first 6 years as a coach, I sat right next to the offense coordinator, and I watched how they prepared. I watched how they prepared for every situation. And then that was one thing, when I went to Ole Miss, I thought we did better than anybody, is just being prepared for every situation. And, we're going to coach these guys up until the whistle. And there's you never stop preparing for the game, whether it's Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon, Saturday morning. And so that's just, I've been fortunate in that sense. And the rooms I've sat in, the people I've been around, I thought they did a great job in preparing for games and situations, and feeling like we're in a good spot to be prepared for whatever happens on Saturday.
You yourself have talked about the depth of this team, especially receiver. You got depth at running back. As far as getting touches, making sure the healthiest guys in, is that communication between you and the position coaches, or how does that work throughout a game?
Yep. So we have, it's funny. We have one guy that is one of his sole assignments on game day is making sure certain guys are getting touches, because you never want to look up in a game and be like, well, dang, so and so has only had one touch, and especially if you look back if you're Sunday and you're looking back at a Saturday game and you struggled offensively, and all of a sudden you look up and two of the guys that you want to get touches to touch at one time, well, that's a bad deal. And so we have, like I said, we got somebody assigned to that, because we've you know, you learn from your mistakes. It happened to us a few years ago. We played in a game where we were down some people, but we had a couple of our players going, and we struggled offensively. And then looking back the next day, we realized that the guys that we did have, we barely got them the ball. And that can't happen as a coaching staff. And so just being prepared for those type of things. You know, at the end of the day, scheme is really important, but those players make this thing go. And we got some really good ones, and we got to make sure we get the ball in their hands for sure.
With the helmet, Mike, I mean, will there be kind of a learning period? I know you guys have worked with it in practice, but you kind of have to go into game day and see what works, what doesn't, maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of trial and error for sure. But that's just where, you know, I'm grateful we've gotten to use it every day in practice. We've gotten to use it in our scrimmages. We've got to use it with the 15-second cutoff. So we've gotten some test runs at it, but as you know, everything's different on game day, and so there'll be some learning curves of just trying to sort through it. The biggest thing that, you know, I'll try and do a great job of is just not doing too much. You know, it's one of the guys who I talk to, you know, kind of just figuring out how to use it, the best way to use it. The best advice I've gotten is don't talk in his backswing. You know, don't give him too much. Don't make him overthink something. You know, you've spent X amount of hours during the week coaching the guy. Trust that training. Don't trust, you know, 5 seconds before he snaps the ball, you telling him something that's going to make the difference.